What is discrimination in terms of dog training? It's extremely important to take this into consideration because discrimination is the act of a dog deciding what behavior should follow a stimulus. And a stimulus is anything, whether it's a word or a sight or a particular incident. We want discrimination to happen in a very good way with our puppies. It is the ability for a dog to determine his or her next course of action based on a presented stimulus. A stimulus is anything your dog notices or has exposure to, whether it is a word, a person, a place, or anything including sounds, textures, and smells. One example of this is that your dog knows the difference between your belt, a leash, and a measuring tape. They show this by getting excited over the leash and not typically getting excited over your belt or a measuring tape. They are conditioned by the leash, which is a stimulus, by repeatedly seeing the leash come out and be attached to their harness before a walk. The leash predicts a walk. So therefore, they have a discrimination to know that the leash is the thing that they get excited about. Discrimination also allows the dog to learn and know the difference between your voice and someone else's voice in the case of a verbal marker. Also, your dog is able to know the difference between your car, which is arriving home, and someone else's car that's just passing your house. Some dogs get extremely excited when they can hear a particular owner's car coming down the street. I know that I have been told by some of my clients that their dogs get excited 30 seconds before I even get to their door because they believe that their dog could hear my car coming. I also believe the same thing. Your dog's ability to be able to discern the sound of your clicker and someone else's, if you're in training with another person and another dog, is also capable. We can hear the difference of the different clickers. Your dog definitely can. Allergy alert dogs are trained to discriminate between the many thousands of scents in the world and the allergen they are trained to alert on. This is how we get peanut allergy alerting service dogs, which can be and are often literally life-saving for their owners. Discrimination can also work against us when unpleasant experiences happen. This is why we work so hard to socialize them properly to a wide variety of people, places, and things, as well as different sights, sounds, and smells. Proper socialization by carefully selecting only good experiences during the socializing process is imperative because where dogs do not typically generalize well, they can generalize quickly over a very unpleasant experience. For instance, if the only exposure a puppy gets in a car is from the car ride taking him from his point of origin or familiarity, so his mother, his litter mates, the breeder, or whatever was familiar at that point, or the car takes him to the groomer or veterinarian, this could cause the puppy to generalize to all motorized rides, which now will, in their opinion, predict bad things. Being away from you while being groomed, vaccinations or surgery, or a place of experiencing pain in general. If the bad experience is not watered down by many good experiences in the car that take them to good places like parts, pet stores, for toys or treats, or just to get to spend some extra time with you, just please don't leave them in the car when you cannot be with them. Too many things can go wrong there. So be proactive and use good judgment when socializing. Make sure that things are pleasant for puppy. Make sure that if they do have to have a bad experience, that we water it down with lots of good experiences if they have to go in the car or something of that nature. You have one chance as a puppy to get them socialized right between 8 and 16 weeks, and then socialization can continue after that, but the golden time is that critical 8 to 16 weeks. Ludgie's favorite. Hi, Ludgie.
Looks like everybody's all taking their dogs for a ride.
Yeah, it's the husky in that one. Hi, Ludgie. Be good. Okay. So again, before we were luring, if you have been using me for your in-homes, we start out by teaching them luring with our lure movements with our right hand. So the very first week we start with food in our right hand, and we're luring the puppy into sit, and then down, and then stand. And so we're going to turn those into hand signals. So the hand signals that I teach, there are other hand signals, but these in particular are the ones that I teach. They're fairly universal with different variations. So at any rate, my sit hand signal that I teach is palm facing the ground and sweeping up. So this is my sit. Down is going to be palm facing forward and pushing down. So the sit is going to be like throwing something over your shoulder. Down is going to be like you pushing something down. It's good to enunciate with your hands. So for sit, my palm is up. For down, my palm is down. For stand, there's two variations. One is a straightforward stand like this. Some people want to do stand like this. I realize that I have a lot of clients that have shoulder compromises, so you can choose whether you want this to be your stand or this to be your stand. So as far as come here and come, we use the same hand signal to us. So your hand is going to be extended out to your right and pulling forward, similar to the lure move of luring your puppy to you, or it can simply be this if it's too hard for you to stick your hand straight out. You definitely want to pick one or the other and be consistent with that. As far as stay goes, stay is going to be a policeman's stop sign, and then you're going to put your hand away, because keeping your stay hand signal out there is like you repeating the word stay over and over again. Let your dog learn that. Don't do your dog's homework for them. So last but not least, I like to do a finished or all done command, and that is simply just like it looks. All done. That means we're done with play. That means we're done with training. Sit. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Stand. Yep. Excellent. Get it. Get up here. Come on. Ready? Sit. Stay. Good girl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good girl. Release. Yep. Come. Yep. Good job. So in conclusion, I just wanted to say that when you are training your dog, just make sure that you are very fair in how you're teaching them with hand signals. Make sure that you're pretty consistent with the way you're moving your hands so that it's easier for them to discriminate between the sit hand signal, the down hand signal, the come hand signal, stay, obviously the stand, and whatever else you're teaching. So be very consistent with what you're teaching. Also, I highly recommend that you say the command slightly before you actually give the hand signal. So for instance, I like to say the word sit, then the hand signal, down, then the hand signal, rather than sit at the same time. I have found through my own experience that it's easier to split the two part if we give a second or two delay between the verbal cue of sit and then the actual hand signal or whatever command behavior you're working on, or cue. We're really trying to go to the word cue as opposed to a command. It's much more positive. But also when you're socializing, make sure that your dog has lots of positive experiences, especially if your puppy is in that impressionable age, 8 to 16 weeks. We want to do lots of positive exposure so that we don't have any accidental generalization onto a bad thing. So it's very important that everything is kept positive and fun, because we want our puppy to be able to cope even that much better with life and have so much better of an experience through life, because we've been exposed and fairly taught about many things in the world. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.